So what's good, my fellow trailer viewers? I just saw a trailer for the movie The Devil All the Time, starring quite a few names you would recognize. Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, Sebastian Stan is in it, Jason Clarke is in it. Quite a few names that you'll recognize. So I'm looking at the trailer and I'm thinking, I'm excited, I'm hyped, I want to see this thing. Let's break this thing down.
Gotta keep it real.
So before I even get into the shots and the scenes, I want to lay out my theory. Please stay with me on this. My theory for the movie includes the fact, or at least in my mind it's a fact, that the gun featured very early on, throw it up right now, this gun is haunted. I just really strongly feel like there's some type of spirit, like a spirit of vengeance or revenge, that is connected to this gun, and you'll see it pop up a few times. Hopefully you stay with me for the breakdown and get all the little points that I saw. Alright, so let's jump into it. This is the first scene to me that stood out and said, something is up with this gun. Now there's another shot that's kind of before this that shows kind of a crucifix position. But this shot here with the reddish hair, if you watch the trailer live, it stands out. It makes it seem like there might be some type of supernatural thing going on right here. Alright, the two orphans in the same home shot, that line is getting said at the same time as they're holding hands. To me, that implies relationship. There's some other stuff in the trailer later on that makes me think, maybe she's just the only person that really cares for him seriously. Who knows? But I'm thinking this is a relationship. That's a handhold that we're looking at right here. This is a whole, this is a holding hands type of thing. Seems pretty deep. All right, we got Bill Skarsgard here looking quite crazy. Gonna come back to him in a bit. We got Robert Pattinson. All right, so things that people don't understand is that Twilight, the movie, was the biggest thing that Robert Pattinson ever did. But what people also don't understand is that he's done so much other stuff since then. I think that this movie coming on a Netflix platform like it's coming out in a time where we are, where there's really not many theaters open to where people can go and watch new movies. This is the time that people are finally gonna see with their own eyes that Twilight was years ago. Robert Pattinson is light years better than he was in Twilight today. I think he's gonna blow everybody's expectations out the water, and he's been doing it, but it's gonna be put on full display here. Alright, this is Jason Clarke. I had to look his name up. We've seen him in other things. I'm sure you've recognized his face, but he is so creepy. Every time he shows up in his trailer, you make my skin crawl with the things that you're saying and the things that you're doing. It's what he says in this shot, and then later on it's something he's doing in another shot. Man, what? I feel like he's gonna die in this one. That's just, prediction. Jason Clarke's gonna die. Okay, here we get more crucifixion imagery. This, to me, makes me think that this gun has a history. It makes me believe that whoever holds this weapon, that's probably taken from the person who's on the crucifix at this time, is motivated to do things that people see as wrong, but they might have good reason to do it that the world don't know about. But again, that's just me and my little wild theory. But I also have a strong feeling I'm right. I hope I'm right. I think that'll make for an entertaining film. Right here, Bill Skarsgård doing a Pennywise impression. He really looks like the character Pennywise here. We know he's the person who gets the gun, brings the gun back. The thing I think that stands out with this scene in particular, we know that I think that he's playing Tom Holland's father, flashback scenes. And I think this here is a shot of him kind of being driven to go do something that the world sees as bad, but maybe for a good reason. Maybe he got his reasons for going and, beating somebody up. Alright, so in an earlier shot I didn't include, Tom Holland was saying that he's not a real preacher. Robert Pattinson's character, not a real preacher. He's worse than the people on the radio, this and that, this and that. But this scene, this shot proves Robert Pattinson is indeed either a very, 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 very unfit preacher, or he's just a straight up creep. I think he's a straight up creep who's just real good with the words. And I think he's using the words on this young lady. But I say straight up creep because of some other stuff that happens. Let's keep moving. Alright, so here's the gun. So at this point in the movie, I think that this is the point where we see Tom Holland's character, who's probably been in possession of the gun and probably have been given good reason to go out and seek some vengeance, is now at the point where he's broken, he's upset, and he's gonna go and get himself some justice. I think Bill Skarsgard went through the same thing as the flashback father character, but this is Tom Holland's, I think, this is my theory, his beginning of his descent into the pursuit of vengeance, which will lead him to execute some people, I think. Alright, in this shot you see Tom Holland holding a photo. Again, in the back pocket is the gun. Look closely, zoom and enhance. And then also, let's zoom and enhance again on this next photo. You see this and you think, oh, Tom Holland discovered that somebody is taking deviant looking pictures. But again, you pinch to zoom right there, bam. And what you see? A girl's fingernail polish in the corner. So this is not Tom Holland holding that same photo. This is really, really tricky editing. This is a woman holding this picture. And if you go to the next image, bam, another that same female hand on a bunch of different Polaroids. So I'm thinking there are questionable photos circulating, probably from Jason Clarke's character because he looks super creepy. I think he's probably using them to blackmail some females, you know, in the little town, in the little area. He's catching them doing stuff and photographing them, trying to, you know, creep them out, make them do what he want, keep him under his thumb. And I think Tom Holland catches it, and then he goes after the Jason Clarke character. That's just one of my thoughts. Here's Robert Pattinson proving that he's a super creep. All I can think when I see this photo is, this reminds me of those preachers who would like hold snakes and say like, oh, God is protecting me. Look, the snake is not biting me. It's like, yeah, if we got to do all that to prove that God is protecting me, fam, I don't think I'm good. I think I'm a pass on that. Hard, firm pass. Can't do it. Can't do spiders. Can't do snakes, my guy. Here we have the Winter Soldier himself, Sebastian Stan, drinking on the job, being an officer of the law, and things of that nature. Now, I think, I don't want to project too much about time travel and time jumps and things like that, but I do believe that Sebastian Stan comes into possession of that gun, and it's gonna come around a little bit later why I say that. Here we have Tom Holland. Tom Holland is getting jumped. There's no initiation here. He's not jumped in. He's just plain old jumped right here. His lady friend is in another part of this shot, trying to hold him back. She can't. Makes me feel sad for him, but also makes me think this is in the beginning of the film before he gets possession of the gun. And if it is happening while he's in possession of the gun, I think that's one of the things that he'll let slide because it's happening to him. But then when he discovers something happening to someone else, maybe someone he cares about, he ain't gonna let it slide. He gonna get that pistol and he gonna go get somebody. Bam! Tom Holland with the pistol, pointing it straight at Robert Pattinson. I think there was a line in the trailer where he says like, hey preacher, you got time for a sinner? And then wham, out with the pistol. Let's go. More Jason Clarke, super creepy. This was maybe a second and a half, but that wink that he gives, man, that's skin crawling. Okay, back to my theory. The gun is possessed. Sebastian Stan comes into possession of the gun. So my thought is this. You see, he's approaching this character, looking off in the distance. Maybe this person abused him as a child. Maybe this person is just one of those criminals who just got away with it. He knows, as the officer on the scene, he knows this dude did it, but he just can't prove it in court. Maybe he got acquitted, whatever. We see that the gun in question that he's raising is covered. Maybe that's just to throw the audience off, but me and my sharpness, me and my wit, makes me believe that it's the same gun that Tom Holland had, just with a little napkin over it. Maybe when we actually see the actual scene, it might not even be covered because it might be well established this gun is like the spirit of vengeance, and now Sebastian Stan has it on him and he's about to murk this guy. Here we go, little Spider-Man action from Tom Holland, like he's going in like kicking the door, like bam, kicking the door. Here's the gun again. Now honestly, I don't have the best vision in the world, but when I zoom and enhance on this one, this does look like somebody wearing a wig to me. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong, but this looks like a man with a wig on. Now maybe, you know, this is just the way I caught the trailer and I paused it right at the right second to where it looks like a person in a wig. Who knows? But I do see in plain view that same gun causing trouble. Jason Clarke, super creepy. So my thought is he caught a couple. He starts photographing them where they can't see. Maybe they do catch a glimpse of him and he, you know, rushes in to, I don't know, put the blackmail like right in their face. I don't know what, but it just looks horrible. Jason Clarke with his creepy face on top of a naked man. Then we have Sebastian Stan with a shotgun blast to close out the trailer. And we get the title card, The Devil All the Time. I truly believe that the gun is haunted. I am truly excited to watch this movie on Netflix. It is coming September 16th, 2020. I can't wait. I think that it'll be probably one of the more dramatic, up there with like The Five Bloods as far as like great acting, maybe even award recognition type stuff. I have another Netflix review of Project Power coming very, very, very soon. Hopefully the same day as this comes out. There's probably going to be a book review if you're into those. There's probably going to be a Cologne comparison at some point in the future. So if you're here for that, stick around. If you're watching on Facebook and you watch this far, please follow the page, share the video. If you're watching on YouTube and you're one of those people who watches the trailers but you haven't subscribed to the channel, please, you're welcome. Subscribe to the channel. Help me to grow this thing. I'm going to be linking a bunch of other videos. Please click a video. Please click all the buttons, the subscribe button, the like button, the share button, the dislike button, whatever you want to click a button. Enjoy yourself and guard your heart.